The West Virginia football team played its spring game over the weekend, with fans getting a first look at who could potentially be the next option at quarterback for the Mountaineers. Freshman Nico Marchio had a rushing touchdown in the game, while Will Crowder had a nice touchdown pass to Sam James over the middle. Many fans were expecting to see JT Daniels, the new incoming transfer from Georgia, in the game, but he has not yet officially arrived on campus. Many suspect Daniels to be the starter come September 1st when the Mountaineers take on Pitt in the backyard brawl. This parking lot typically serves as parking for Ruby Memorial Hospital, one of the biggest hospitals in the state of West Virginia. But on Mountaineer game days, this very lot transforms into the Blue Lot, one of the biggest tailgating sites in the country when it comes to college football. Mountaineer fans will have to wait until September 10th when the Mountaineers host Kansas to take in the thrills of the Blue Lot once again this season. The West Virginia women's basketball team recently appointed Dawn Plitzowite as its new head coach after Mike Carey retired after 21 years at the helm. Carey went 15-15 in his final season as the coach of the Mountaineers, and now he will hand the keys over to Plitzowite. Plitzowite comes in from South Dakota, a team that was number 10 seed in the NCAA tournament last season and managed to knock off a Big 12 opponent in Baylor on its way to a Sweet 16 run. For now, Plitzowite will have to fill in her staff and roster here at West Virginia ahead of next season. The West Virginia men's soccer team concluded its spring slate over the weekend with a 1-0 loss at home to Maryland. That brought the Mountaineers' overall record to 2-2-1 on the spring portion of their season. The Mountaineers are coming off of a tough loss at Georgetown in the NCAA tournament, where the Mountaineers were dispatched through penalty kicks. Now a new challenge awaits West Virginia in the fall as they look to take on a newly formed Sun Belt Conference in soccer. I'm here at Dick Dalesk Soccer Stadium, where two of West Virginia's elite athletic programs ply their trade on this pitch right here. Two recent alumni, Pau Jimenez Albelda and Isabella Sibley, were just here months ago playing for their respective teams. Now they're back home in Europe looking to ply their trade in the professional game.
It was always been a big goal for me. It was one of those things that you dream of as a child, as to be a professional athlete, let alone a professional soccer player.
I was not sure that I was going to be able to make it because, fourth division in Spain, the level is pretty high. Like all my teammates, they've all been in professional academies like Barcelona, Espanyol, Madrid, Mallorca, Deportivo, like all these huge Spanish teams that have academies. They've all played there. And I was like, do I really have the level? And I started playing and I was like, oh yeah, I do have the level.
Not only does this duo get to play professionally, but they are both within close proximity to home, and with that comes special advantages.
I play a game on Sunday and I have a huge amount of my family coming and supporting me, which is shocking because I haven't had that in four years now. So for me to be able to be so close with my family and friends of who I grew up with has definitely put a huge smile on my face.
It's perfect for me. It was one of the best things about it is that it's like really 10 minutes away from my house, which is fantastic. We start training at 9:30 and I can, wake up at 8:45 and I'm going to still make it because it's super, super close. My whole life I've been playing in the city of Tarrasa, which is like 20 minutes away from Barcelona. So I'm pretty well connected with the city, I would say.
Albelda is signed for Terrassa FC, a club in the 4th tier of the Spanish pyramid, while Sibley has opted for Crystal Palace, who reside in the 2nd tier of the women's pyramid in England. Despite the steps they have taken in their careers, they have not forgotten about the help from WVU coaching along the way.
Sat down with Izzo, I remember I said, listen Izzo, this is my ambition, I want to go professional. So every time I had a meeting with her, that was always in talks. It's like, okay, if you want to be a pro, this is what you're going to have to do to be a pro. All three of the coaching staff, Izzo, Stoya and Marissa, have been 3 important impacts of this process, like I said, of this new chapter in my life.
Strads is a fantastic coach. I've told him, and when I signed for the team, I sent him a message and I was like, hey, I think that this is, big in big part because of you and the boys, because they've definitely, it was not only Strads, it was the whole team. They definitely made me the player I am today.
No matter how far Sibley and Alberta stray from Morgantown, they continue to make us Mountaineers proud. For Mountaineer Playbook, I'm Liam Belan. The West Virginia men's soccer team went on a remarkable NCAA tournament run this past season. After a first-round bye and dispatching of Virginia Tech in penalties, the Mountaineers were tasked with traveling to Tulsa's Hurricane Stadium, where the home side had only conceded 5 goals in 11 matches. At stake for WVU, only its first College Cup quarterfinal berth in 40 years.
I remember the match being really even. There were a lot of chances that honestly Tulsa very well could have won the match. I remember in specific, Alex Meinhard, the star forward that they had a one-on-one chance with Steven Tekeski. Didn't exactly place the best shot on Tekeski, and Tekeski was able to make the save. That was an extra time where the golden goal rule was in play.
West Virginia slowly started to gain momentum towards the end of the match and could have scored before the golden goal, but Tulsa proved why they held such an impressive defensive record. In the end, a perfect corner was the key to winning the match for the Mountaineers.
Ryan Crooks was the one that served the corner. It was a really good ball in. The Mountaineers had a few different set-piece tactics that they had practiced, especially from corners, but they didn't elect to do any of those in extra time with golden goal on the plate. You know, they just kind of wanted to put the ball in and see what happened. And it was really a mess, especially from our vantage point, and the ESPN Plus call was the same. You really had no idea where or who the ball went off of.
Now the ball's going to come in here from Crooks. Ball comes in, swinging in. Looks like Kevin Morrison. The ball rattles into the back of the net. West Virginia is going to go on to the College Cup quarterfinals. It looks like Otto Alakainen's going to claim it. Really, it was a mess inside the box. A great ball from Crooks, back post, sent in by Otto Alakainen, and that's going to do it here as Virginia is going home happy.
We were honored to be able to call that and have the blessing to witness that in person. It was really a fun event and one that I definitely won't forget anytime soon.
It's safe to say that the Mountaineers won't either. For Mountaineer Playbook, I'm Liam Belan. The West Virginia men's and women's soccer teams played friendlies on Saturday at Dick Dalesk Soccer Stadium to continue their preparation for their next seasons in the fall. The women's team hosted Penn State, a squad that they lost to 2-0 last season. The Mountaineers lost 3-1 this time around, but many starters did not play, and WVU was competitive throughout the match. Julianne Valorand scored the only goal for West Virginia in the second half on a point-blank header. To no surprise, the team lined up in Nikki Izzo-Brown's 4-3-3 formation with transfers Isabel Loza and Maddie Moreau getting the start at center, midfield, and left back, respectively. The team resumed spring friendlies on Sunday, April 10th, when they travel to take on James Madison. On the other side of things, Dan Stratford and the men's team welcomed VCU to town in a highly competitive 1-1 draw. Both teams had their fair share of chances, but they were each only able to convert one. Bjorn Thiessen won a corner out of the air and was able to poke the ball past VCU's keeper to give the Mountaineers an early lead. Stratford's squad lined up in a 4-4-2 formation rather than the 3-5-2 that fans have been accustomed to since he came to WVU from the University of Charleston. In the end, VCU proved to be a valiant opponent, and both squads were satisfied with the result. The men's team will return to action on Saturday, April 9th when they take on Navy. For Mountaineer Playbook, I'm Liam Belan.